Hello viewers, welcome to this episode with PyMath. In today's episode, we continue with our series on change of subject of a formula. Students in college will find this very useful, so you can tell your friends, your neighbors, and anyone who you think may have interest in going through their math solution with this video to visit PyMath and follow up with our videos here. Let's go on now to the environment and draw a perspective on what we have for today. Today, we continue with our series on change of subject of a formula. Right here on the screen, we have a formula. This formula looks somewhat like the first one we saw because of the obstacle here, this square root boss. Of course, in our first video, we saw how we can deal with obstacles like this. First, we want to make H here the subject of this formula. So I'm making H the subject of the formula. The first thing we need to do is to get rid of the square root boss. And to do that, we take square of both sides. So we take square of both sides. If we take square of both sides, we'll have, here we'll have v squared as the first. So on the left-hand side, if we take the square of this square root boss, the square root boss will disappear. We saw that in our last video there. So let's take the square of the square root. We take the square of both sides, and here you have v squared equals square root gd into 1 plus 3h all over d to the power of 2. So now taking the square of this square root, the square root box will disappear. We saw that in our first video. So here we'll have v squared. So this becomes, so we have v squared equals gd. So we'll have gd, of course, the square root box is gone, gd into 1 plus 3h, 1 plus 3h all over d. Okay, so this is what we have. The square root box is gone. Now, next we would simplify. We'll simplify this so we can work out the denominator here and do a cross multiplication. So in our next step, we'll have v squared equals gd. Okay, so now here for this, the LCM here, of course, is going to be d. All right, so we'll have d plus 3h, of course. So the whole of that, let's put that in bracket. So if we work this out, the whole of this will be all over d. Okay. All right, so this is what we have. Okay. Now, looking at this, it is obvious that gd will multiply this numerator. So we can do a cross multiplication. gd is multiplying this, or let's take a step on this so we can see that clearly. So we still have v squared. Let's run g. Okay. v squared equals, I put everything in brackets. Let's put this, and of course this again, another bracket here. So I have gd into d plus 3h plus 3h. Okay. And this entire result will divide by d. Okay, so this is what we have. Now, as it appears, we can cross multiply. So here you have gd into d plus 3h times 1, because there's an imaginary 1 at the denominator of v. That will give us here on the side if we cross multiply. So we have gd into d plus 3h equals v squared times d. There will give us v squared d, or let's put it as d alphabetically. So we have this. Then our interest from this point, remember we're making h the subject of the formula. So let's open up this bracket by multiplying through by gd. So if we run that gd through, we have gd squared. Gd times d will give us gd squared. Okay, so we have gd squared plus gd times 3h will give us 3 gdh equals dv squared. So we have equals dv squared. All right, so this is what we have. Now, Looking at it, let's put this a bit up. Looking at this, you see that our H lies here. So first we'll subtract GD squared from both sides. If we subtract it from both sides, subtracting GD squared from both sides, we subtract it from left-hand side and from right-hand side. Once we subtract that, we'll have 3 GDH equals DV squared. DV squared minus GD squared from both sides. We subtracted GD squared from both sides, and this will have. Now, H is we are looking at H, making H the subject of the formula. So that finally will give us, let's put this up a bit. If we make H the subject, to make H the subject of the formula, we divide both sides of the equation by 3 GD, so that H will be equal to DV squared minus GD squared. The entire result divided by, let's put this in brackets so you can pick it. The entire result divided by, 3 GD. So the entire result divided by 3 GD. Let's see what we got. Let's put this up and see it. You can see that here. So we divide both sides by 3 GD, and we are left with H here equals DV squared minus GD squared over 3 GD. All right. So this is our solution. Let me take out the brackets. So this is what we got. We have made H the subject of this formula. Now looking at the formula where we came from, this formula itself had a subject V, and our interest is to make H the subject of the formula. And we've made H the subject of the formula. So H is now DV squared minus GD squared over 3 GD. So this is very clear, and this is how you can change the subject of a formula. In another video, I'll come up with some other formulas that may be a bit different from this, and we'll see how to change the subject of the formula. Tell your friends about PyMath. Let them visit this page. A lot for them to take from here. Our videos have solutions that will help students who are struggling in maths to sail through. They are well explained. The math symbols are clear. You can see how they are put. The square root is clear, so you're not having challenge with how to see what is written on the screen. It's so clear. So tell your friend, your parent, you can tell your children to visit PyMath for their math solution. If you have any question, go on the comment section and drop your question. I look forward to receiving your question. Bye for now.